Welcome back to Roundtable Talks. I'm David Zaparis, and today Cindy Chan will be joining us. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you, Dave. Thanks for having me.
Very good. Cindy, what attracted you to the real estate industry?
That's a very good question, Dave. Honestly, it's a great question. And don't mind the laugh, the humor right now, because it's just every time I see you, I get giddy.
You get giddy.
I get giddy. Every time I see you, Dave, I get giddy. But let's get back to the actual question.
That's for a good reason.
It's a very good reason. But what attracted me into this real estate industry was more or less, everyone needs a place to live, let it be leasing or ownership of a property. For me, I wanted to be that person to be able to help these people find their security in the sense where they have a roof over their heads, something in terms of they're looking for something that is their dream home, right? I wanted to be that person to be able to guide them to make those decisions as to, even if you were to purchase a home or lease a home, eventually it could become ownership of a property. Mm-hmm. Could be an investment later on, or it could be a place where they grow their family.
Yeah.
Right? So that's more or less what attracted me into this industry.
So you're looking to just assist people in whatever avenue they're looking for in real estate. You're looking to be their go-to agent.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, hey, it's like you have so many people coming into Canada. Canada's a great country to live in, right? And all these people that are entering into our country, like I said, they need to find somewhere. They need a place to stay. And I want to be that person to be able to educate them, to let them feel that they can have someone where they can trust, to give my opinion, my educated opinion as to what they can achieve or look for.
Well, now Cindy, you're doing very well in the industry, but like all agents, it's never an easy path to get to where you ultimately are. What hurdles did you encounter as a young new agent in the business?
I think as a young new agent, it was more or less you didn't have much discipline. It was hard to, the hurdles that I did go towards is you didn't have much people telling you what you should be doing. Mm-hmm. You saw people succeed in their business, but no one would tell you exactly what you had to do. And I think the hurdles was more or less is I didn't know how to time block, as you taught us to time block our schedule, to focus those few hours on trying to call your clients, letting them know. Prospecting, right?
Yeah.
And I think as well is that a lot of times was as a new agent, you're working with perhaps buyers back then, was you were afraid to really screen them completely and ask the right questions, right, because you were afraid to lose them.
Yep.
Right?
That makes a lot of sense.
So you would be doing a lot of work, unnecessary work sometimes, because some people may not have been committed to you. Like they may not have been ready to purchase. So you weren't able, like myself back then, was to ask the right questions.
To qualify them.
To qualify your clients.
To see if they're ready to buy, see if they want to buy.
Yeah.
And if they want to buy, what are they going to buy?
Exactly.
And whether that's within the reach of what they should be buying.
Exactly. Right? And I think if we knew how to qualify our clients, it would have been, I wouldn't have gone through those hurdles and wasted a lot of that time, right? Because a lot of people, when you don't know how to qualify a client properly or ask the right questions, you end up realizing that there's a lot of that time is wasted.
Yep.
Where people may not have been ready to purchase, and I could have gone and approached it in a different way, right? So
I mean, yeah, you organize, I think, always your prospects A, B, and C, and what you're telling me, Cindy, is you're treating someone that is an A prospect, in your mind, because you haven't qualified them, but really they could be a C or a D.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
they're put on, no, I wouldn't say the back burner, but they're there for nurturing at a later point in time. And you could be spending your time on a business.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
Growing your business.
to grow
right?
your business,
Yep,
for sure.
Exactly.
So let's move into this then. I think in today's environment, pricing is very key, more than ever. It's not just let's list and it'll sell for whatever it sells for. You have to now really come to a listing presentation with a proper pricing model. Now that you're experienced, how do you go about pricing and having the conversation with price with your potential sellers?
Well, I think the most important thing is obviously you have to know the market, right? You have to know that area specifically if you were to sell, grab a listing, and you're representing your seller. So as an agent, definitely, like as most agents, you have to go into the MLS, you have to go into all that information and just find out, like, and see what the prices are, do the comparables. And when you go into a listing presentation, obviously you have to know what your client's expectations are, okay? Some clients may not have, like, they could be all over the place. And to be honest with you, working with people that are everywhere and they have high expectations, not necessarily will benefit us as an agent, just because you're going in and you want to walk out with that listing. With me it's more being realistic and letting your clients know and educating them, hey, this is what the area is going for. What are your expectations? What is the number that you're looking at selling? And I'll be honest with you, not necessarily all clients I'll take on.
I was just going to ask you that. Will you walk away from a listing if they're not realistic on price?
I will, and I know some agents may not, to be honest. Some agents see it as just take the listing, and a few weeks later, even though we know that the pricing is not right, we'll drop the price or something. Just put the sign up on the property. It's a marketing, right? You need to market. But for me I just feel like I don't want to waste my time and I don't want to waste their time as well, right?
Yep.
And that being said is, if you're wasting their time and they don't understand what the pricing is and they don't agree with you, then more or less is you're putting your name forward.
Right.
And later on, that could affect my business.
Absolutely.
Right?
So if you're not, I know you work a lot on referrals, and in that situation, when you don't sell a home, a lot of times the sellers may forget what you actually told them at that listing presentation. They'll just chalk up the whole experience as that, perhaps you didn't do as good a job as they expected. They'll chalk up that experience as it just didn't sell, and that's what potentially could get out to your clients, right? Or your potential referrals. That Cindy wasn't able to sell my house. That's why it's important to be strong on your pricing and be strong in what you believe the market is and whether it will sell or not.
Exactly. Realistically, you have to give them a mindset as to what it is, more or less the realistic way of proceeding with it, right? So for me I would always be very truthful to my clients, right? And I'll just say, it's like some people like to hear like the bells and whistles of everything.
Right.
But with me when I find that being honest and straight up with them, even though they don't want to hear what's coming out of your mouth, that actually earns your clients, like people that ends up choosing to work with you, they respect that. They respect that a lot more than you just abiding to them and just agreeing with what they say.
Now, 2022 started well, ended slower for a lot of agents. How is 2023 looking for Cindy Chan?
2023 seems pretty okay. I have started my pipeline, so hopefully this year I want to focus more on pre-construction, because I feel like there's, with all this interest rate hike, everyone, there's a bit of resistance. I see that in the market where people are unsure of purchasing or what, right? So, but there are a lot of people that have money just left aside. So if people have, in fact, place that money aside and they don't know what to do. I just feel like trying to like educate them on pre-constructions
Yep.
are actually not a bad thing,
Nope.
right? Rather than just leaving your money off in the banks. How much interest can you make?
For sure,
in
I agree
terms
with
of
that.
So I think that's like the road towards 2023 I want to work on. And of course, as well, working with residentials, right? Like resale residentials, that's always been my thing, right? But
Yeah.
I think
bread and butter, I would say, right?
bread and butter,
Yeah.
and everything else in terms of, I think it's sugar, it's like an icing on top,
Yeah, yeah.
cherry on top with your pre-con.
For sure, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I've always said that you know, pre-con is the bonus,
Exactly.
and then resale is your everyday paycheck.
Right.
Well, Cindy, I do want to thank you for joining us today
Thank you, Dave.
here at Roundtable Talks. If you like the content you heard today, please remember to hit like and subscribe to this channel.